And welcome. In this short video tutorial, we're going to show you the main screen of StreetWise Responder and explain a little bit about the user interface that you'll be working with in this particular application. Now, on the screen, you see basically what will appear in the main screen of StreetWise Responder when you start it up. Let's tell you about the main sections of this. First of all, you'll notice that in the center of the screen you have the actual incident information. This particular area will show you the type of call, the address, location of the call, the time the call that was dispatched, and then other information that we receive from your particular CAD system. So what appears in this section of the application may vary depending on what kind of information we receive from your particular CAD interface. Now, right above that, you'll notice that there's a small index of the calls that have been received on this particular device, and you can actually take your finger and just simply scroll back and forth across those various calls that have been received on the device if you have more than one call that's been received. To view any one of those calls, simply drag your finger over and stop on that particular call, and once you've done that, the screen will refocus on that incident and the information for that incident. You can also move between incidents by using either the right button over here, just tap it and it'll go to the next call, or you can go backwards in the order of the calls by clicking on the left button there, and you move backwards in the call. Let's move forward to the latest call here. That's the commercial structure fire. And we'll show you a couple of other things. Let's focus for a moment on the bottom of the screen. On the bottom of the screen are the main functions of StreetWise. The one on the far left with the apparatus icon is the responder panel, and that will bring up the responder panel. We'll show you that in detail in another video. You're already on the alert screen, and that's why that particular button is already highlighted in red. To go to the tactical map, you'll hit the tactical map button, which is this next one here in order. We'll tap that and you can see that we go to the tactical map. Now, if you go over here to the right of our logo, you'll notice another menu item here that has 3 lines and buttons, and that simply is an other menu. It's got some miscellaneous items in there. You can view StreetWise University, which is the source for the video tutorials you're watching right now, or you can enter a support request if you're having a problem with the application. To the right of that then is a settings menu. When we tap that, it'll allow us to delete the current call that we're viewing on the device, or delete all of the calls from the device. And also on that menu is something called Resend Recent, and if you did inadvertently delete all the calls from that device, if you hit Resend Recent, you'll get back any calls from the last 4 hours. So simply clicking Resend Recent will give you those calls back. I'll show you how that works here. We're going to hit Delete All. That's going to remove all the calls from the device, and then we'll bring that menu back up, hit Resend Recent, and you can see that we've got those calls back from the last 4 hours. Now let's focus for a minute on the top of the application screen. You'll notice that at the very top we indicate whether or not your device is currently engaged actively on a call. If we're not engaged, which we're not at the moment because we're available as our status, then it shows not engaged. If we do engage in a call, that will indicate the call that we're currently active on. So you can always check to see which call you're actively operating on by looking up here in this section right here. Over to the right, you have an indication that'll tell you whether you're connected to our server. So if you're having some kind of problem with your broadband or your connectivity, maybe your cell phone is out of range, you may see this go to disconnected, indicating that you're no longer actively connected to the server and therefore will not be able to exchange information to the server. Directly below that, you'll see the status buttons, and again, as with our MDT, these are smart status buttons, meaning that your current status is always highlighted in the left button, and over to the right you'll have the next 3 most logical choices that you would use as a status if you were going to go active on a call. So you can see right now it appears that we can hit respond to station, respond to scene, or you can indicate to your fellow firefighters that you're unable to respond to this incident. So you can click cannot respond. That'll actually show your status as unable to respond for that particular call, and then later you can go back into available status. Now we'll talk about these status buttons in a little bit more detail later on, but I do want to point out that to the right you have what we like to call the hamburger icon, because it's kind of looks like a hamburger. And if you click on that, you'll get a complete list of all the available statuses that you can choose from. And again, we'll go into more detail on this in another video tutorial.